So we're going to talk to you today about 5 most effective social media posts that you can show up with on your social, which is really cool. Before we dive into those specific posts, I do want to talk to you a little bit about the 80-20 rule, right? So what happens is everything when it comes to building your business, utilizing social media, all in moderation is sort of like the key to success, right? So when we first came online back in 2012 and we wanted to build our business, we showed up as an infomercial and quickly we learned that just doesn't work because people don't go to social media to be sold. This is not Amazon. People are on social media to connect. We want to, raise curiosity. We don't want to raise resistance. The 80-20 rule is where it's at. When people come to your social media platform, they're looking for 2 things: content that makes them feel good, and also content that's going to make them look good when they share it. One of the biggest questions or biggest maybe, objections, right? That people have is, okay, well, do I need to be this original content creator, this original songwriter? And this is the analogy that we heard many years ago. And it really helped me in my mindset approaching content creation is that you just got to show up and be a DJ.
Sometimes we read a book or we go to a seminar or we go through a program, a course, we watch a video and we're like, wow, that was really good. And, maybe you get something out of it and then you go out there and implement it. Maybe you don't. Yeah. But I'm telling you, what I found is that if I turn around and teach my biggest takeaways, I share what I learned, I actually learn more because now I'm regurgitating it. I'm teaching it. I have to get some clarity with my thoughts and what I just sat through or read about. And we have this 15-7 weekly posting formula where you do 10-4-1 as far as different posts throughout the week. And, again, maybe you can touch on this, but this is something that works really well for your public news feed, your actual wall. What we're talking about, these are more of your public posts, as Nadya calls it, your evergreen posts. Yes. So it's posts that would be best posted on your wall. If you only could do 1 post a day, what would be that best, most effective post? Could be a live video, could be something creating curiosity, could be something inspirational or something hilarious. But I think you're really going to like this formula.
So if you're going to show up and create 15 posts, and let's define it for your timeline, right? This would not be something you would do like 15 posts on a YouTube, you know what I mean?
Right.
But on Twitter, or you're going to do it on Instagram or Facebook, right? Or LinkedIn for that matter. So you want to think, okay, 10 posts, they need to be value driven. So personal, lifestyle, generic value, something that's fun, something that's uplifting, that has nothing to do with your business. And then you could wow everybody with 1 direct post, but notice the ratio. Out of 15 times that you post, only 1 of them is a direct post. Now, again, we're going to give you guys specific examples to get your creative juices flowing. I think it's going to really, really bring some good value your way. Now, before we get into the curiosity and the direct post ideas, let me give you some really fun, what we like to say, majority of the time posts.
You can go out there and share content that excites you, that you're interested in. Maybe it's network marketing, maybe it's something else, but you're going to notice that I'm not promoting anything in that post. Yeah. Right. This is something that I find funny. It's something that I find, just witty. Right. So for me, I show up with those types of posts, like Nadya said, the majority of the time, where it's short text copy, right? Meaning it's only maybe a sentence or 2. Yeah. And on Facebook, it's awesome because you can create that like colored background. So it's short. It's something I find to be funny, right? You could do this. It could be more controversial. It could be more inspirational, whatever. But the point is short, sweet, to the point. Also, funny equals money. How many of us know this? If you notice here, here's a picture of us in Hollywood. And obviously this was a while back when we could travel, right? But this is funny to us because if you can zoom in a little bit, I don't know if you can see that. My daughter is in complete disgust and shock that we're kissing. So it's just a funny post. But again, funny equals money, right? Like I see right now a lot of you doing TikToks or sharing like these funny posts and memes and stuff like that. Right now, that's going to get great engagement because people want to laugh. Another thing that's really powerful, right? Again, majority of the time posts could be a post like this where it's like a story, right? A before and after. You know, they said when I first went to a network marketing presentation, you could be from Yale or jail. And quite frankly, I had been in jail, right? I was in jail for like 10 days for fist fighting and being an idiot. So you can, kind of see, how I was, that cigarette hanging out of my mouth. I look like a cocky punk. This was actually prom night.
Wow.
So many years before I
Crazy.
met Nadya. So she got me a check. But you can see it gets great engagement, right? Telling a story, right?
Yeah.
Some of us need to be more vulnerable and we need to show reality, right? Because people can relate to that. People can relate to the before and after stories, right? The, everybody wants the glory, but they don't want the story.
For those of us that are intimidated by that, you don't need to tell your whole life story. It's not a biography, right? But little snippets of inspiration where you can teach a lesson, right? You can showcase an answer. Don't skip important milestones. I think this is beautiful, right? If you just got pregnant, you got engaged, you bought a house, you name it. You got a puppy. If you want to get a ton of engagement in social media, post a picture of a baby or a picture of a puppy. Bring joy and your family into it. Embrace being perfectly imperfect. And then challenge time. What if you could take 15 to 30 minutes every day and schedule it to go ahead and, master another modality of video? Or if you're not doing video right now, what if you would just show up every day and create a 5-minute video, challenge yourself, but also take your audience on the journey with you. So let's get into actual post ideas. Now, remember, disclaimer here, right? Is you want to make every post like your own.
Right. So if you look at this, some of you never say hi or anything, please do so now so I can thank you for paying attention. Now, maybe you put your own twist on this and add something about what's going on in the world, right? Something positive, a positive twist on what's happening. And, again, throw a selfie on there.
Yeah.
Right. And we had a woman this weekend. I think Sean is her name. She had like 550 likes, a couple hundred comments. Like it blew up for her doing that post. Here's another one that's really fun. Oh, it was actually this one. Okay. Yeah. So this one's really funny. I deleted all my ugly friends yesterday. So if you're reading this, you're beautiful. Has someone told you today you're the bee's knees? They haven't? Well, you are, and the world is your oyster. Now go out. Now go put on a sweater and enjoy all that detailed artwork that God did on you.
I love that. Next idea. You can take a selfie right now in front of your computer and add this caption.
Quarantine at home, so I might as well level up my marketing skills. # My Lifestyle Academy. These types of posts can be very effective and typically get great engagement. So just have fun with it. If you want to make a crazy face because you're quarantined at home, you can see we used a TikTok, right? So TikTok's always a lot of fun, puts a lot of joy and smiles on people's faces. So it's a great thing to do.
It brings us joy. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think
we have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, if you just are mindful around, okay, what activities are bringing me joy? And then if you're able to spread that, indefinitely, because you're showing up on the socials, you're elevating everybody else as well, which I really, really, really love.
Right. A lot of conversation starters can be questions, like I asked a question recently, how many of you are working more right now than you normally would, and how many of you are working less, right? Just creating conversation. How many hours do you sleep? How many meals do you eat per day? How many of you exercise, and how many times per week do you exercise? So who is out of work? Are you still working, or are you working from home? Homeschooling your kids? What is everyone's situation? How are you doing? Seriously. And I think Katie Thompson posted this in our group, and I thought it was really good. So again, it's just, creating conversations, but thinking of stuff that's relevant to what's going on right now.
Right.
So I just think some of us need to get creative. And again, don't copy that word for word,
Yes.
right? But just giving you some inspirational ideas, getting your brain turning so you can start thinking of questions to ask. And you wouldn't do this on every post. It gets a little weird if like every post you're doing is just asking questions. Take a screenshot of this. These are the 5 most effective.
Yes. So, but also listen, these are the 5 that are in some shape or form promoting the fact that you have a product or you have a business, right? Meaning you don't want to post 15 posts and it's combination of these 5. So these 5 ideas you can pepper in amongst your lifestyle post, your value post, etc., etc., etc. So now we're going to give you some really cool examples to get your creative juices flowing. But essentially, here's what we're doing. You have what's called business light video or business light post. It's up to you what kind of modality you want to use, right? So the modality, the 3 most popular is you have text post, then you got the picture. So like on Facebook, what works really well is a selfie. Of course, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this on YouTube right now, these could be your different types of YouTube videos, right? Or on Instagram, you could do stories, you could do video or post. And then the last one, of course, is video, right? So business light, you can mention the fact that you have a business, but you don't like say more about that. So you just kind of like piquing curiosity, right? Number 2 is gratitude results. Essentially, it's a gorgeous way to brag on the people you're working with, your customers, your own results without being braggadocious, like in a really classy way. Number 3 is recognition videos. You could do this in a format of like interviews, right? You could use something like a Zoom, fingers crossed if it works, or StreamYard or Be Live, where you can bring on a couple of your top producers or a couple of your best customers, and you could do more inspiration, right?
If you get really great at telling stories or interviewing people to share their story, right? Those shout out, those gratitude results posts, it can be extremely effective. It's basically a way to brag indirectly. What we mean by that is these types of posts should focus on the results that you or your team. Now you got to be careful because you can't make health claims or income claims, right? But you're giving shout outs. You could recognize a new team member for achieving a new rank by posting on their wall. Another thing you could do is zoom in on a specific result. Like we'll give you some examples, but you could give, a shout out to like one of your customers, right? Maybe they lost 10 pounds in 30 days and you're giving them a shout out. Way to go, Deborah. She committed to, getting in shape and losing weight. And over the last 30 days, not only did she lose 10 pounds, but she lost 5 inches, something like that with no call to action, unless it's a video. A video, you should have a call to action. Hey, message me if you have questions. Message me if you want more information. Message me if you want my other 3 tips. But when it's in a post and you're doing a quote unquote shout out, you're not supposed to have a call to action because then people think the only reason you're doing the shout out is just to make a sale and make a buck. And it kind of devalues the shout out. Does that make some sense? So you can also make a post about your next vacation to an exotic place. A lot of us right now probably need a vacation from our staycation. You could definitely kind of slip in the fact that, maybe your company is sending you on a retreat or a trip, or you qualified for something and how excited you are, but without saying, hey, hit me up if you're trying to travel for free, right? Now, here's a really good example from Veronica where she's doing a selfie, right? And of course she's pregnant. So that always gives you an advantage. When you have puppies, babies, or pregnant women, it's always going to get lots of engagement, right? So if any of you are like, man, I need some engagement, right? Go get a kid, go grab a kid that's walking slow, go grab someone's puppy.
Oh my gosh.
Go buy a puppy, just kidding, right? Go get pregnant, right? Look what she says here, right? Now it's in Spanish, but the cool thing is with Facebook, you can say see translation. So it says, definitely made the right decision. Almost 2 years ago, I left an opportunity because I found a way to generate extra income where I'm winning and my team is too. Thank you to all my customers for the support. So see how she's like acknowledging her customers, acknowledging her team. Over the last 48 hours, we did 50,000 in sales. Wow. And OMG, we have reached an Echo Award in our collagen product line. So you see how she's giving a shout out and thanking her customers, thanking her team, right? Here's an example of me shouting out someone on the team, right? Margaret's amazing. she rank advanced. I gave her a shout out over on her wall. So instead of her bragging about it, I bragged about her for her on her page, right? Here's a customer example, right? Oh my gosh, I just weighed myself for the first time since September and I've lost 40 pounds, right? Now, this could be after 6 months. It doesn't have to be in 30 days in some crazy story, but it's not trying to sell or promote the product, but it's just acknowledging you're bragging about yourself. You could do the same thing, bragging about one of your customers. Congratulations to so-and-so for losing 40 pounds since September. The reason I point that out is there's no call to action.
Yeah.
Right? Tanya Eliza, great post here. Okay. I'm in love with our new comp plan. I was able to rank advance 3 people on my team today with my volume. We are all winning here and I'm fired up more than ever. Hashtag finally, hashtag best team ever. So that's a curiosity post promoting the business, but no call to action. Don't you think people are going to say, well, how'd you lose the weight? Well, what's the product? What's this new comp plan? You're raising an eyebrow. You want to be the preview to the movie. Don't ruin the freaking movie. And don't say the name of the company.
Yeah.
Now, people always get that twisted because they think it's like, oh, I'm being, secretive or shady. It's like, no, you're creating curiosity. You're leaving that open loop. So the reason you go to the movies is because you see the preview and you're like, man, I got to see what happens in that movie. I got to close the loop. So it's the same mindset with these posts to generate leads and create curiosity. You can tell people, I tell people the name of my company when we're having one-on-one conversation. But if I post it publicly, then guess what? They can just go Google it.
Yeah.
And they can get all their questions answered without ever having to reach out to me. So I'm generating leads for Google versus generating leads for myself. Yeah. I don't own my network marketing company, neither do you. So the only way you make a buck is if they buy from you or they partner with you. Here's another curiosity post idea. More of a direct promotional post. You would not do these all the time. This would be a once a week type of post. You can screenshot this. You can tweak it a little bit to make it your own. Please do not use posts like this word for word.
Yes.
Never a good idea, but you can see 81 people responded. Super cool. This is a great post for those of you that are maybe launching your business or you have a new product coming, maybe a big announcement. Maybe you're going to do a big giveaway. Maybe you just started your business. How many of us are brand new in our business? We're just getting started, or you have brand new people on your team. Something that's really effective is OMG, I did a thing. Super nervous, but super excited, right? Stay tuned. I have a new adventure. Stay tuned. I have a big announcement. Super excited. I can't believe it, but I've got something to share with you. And here's what I would add to a message like this, a post like this. So you can see it's a selfie with no details, right? Just OMG, super excited. The one thing I would add to this is big announcement tomorrow night or big announcement Wednesday night. I'm going live with a big announcement. This will do 2 things. One, you're kind of warming people up that you're about to share something, and you'll get crazy messages. People are gonna be like, are you pregnant? Are you getting married? What's happening? What is this announcement? Tell me, I'm dying to know. But the other thing is people will literally inbox you. They won't wait until you have your big live video announcement, your big Facebook Live launch video. They're gonna literally message you and be like, what is this thing? It's easier to create conversation once you've done some type of public announcement. So this is a really great way to create some curiosity. Here's kind of that example I was talking about earlier, right? Special shout out. Watch this. Special shout out to my good friend, Debbie, who has already lost 16 pounds her first 30 days on our program. I'm so proud of her. She's totally committed. Do you see anything about hit me up?
Yeah.
Send me a message if you want the deets, right? I was watching Ray Higdon talk about that recently, dude. He's so funny when he goes on a rant about this, but it does devalue your post completely because they're like, oh, you're only saying that because you want to sell me something.
Right.
OMG, I got promoted in my new business. I seriously didn't think I would hit this goal so quickly. So grateful. Now, here's the thing, guys. You could try these on your stories also. It doesn't have to be a public post.
Yeah.
If you're like a little uncertain of some of this, try it in your story first, see if you get any responses. because people are going to go, what's the product? What's the business?
Mm-hmm.
I just have to share. I am so grateful that I got over my fear and skepticism of starting a home business, because I got my very first promotion and I just can't believe it. I've never gotten promoted in anything I've done. And I can't believe how simple this really is. So grateful I took a chance. What are you afraid of? Watch this. Do you see this? What are you afraid of, but know you should do it anyway?
I love that.
Do you see how it's not just a curiosity post, but it's also asking a question to create conversation. And then on the back end, you can respond to comments. You can reach out to people you haven't talked to before about your business or product. Reach out to people just to be a good human. Right now, people need positivity. Here's another good one. I found a serum that melts fat in 1 spoonful a day. Look at these results. Hashtag I want my waist back. So this would be something where you're promoting either your results, or maybe you have some customers, or maybe other people on the team in their ATM groups. Maybe there's VIP groups where you can grab some before and after pictures and share them in the comments. Do you see how smart that is? And here's a TikTok video that we found to be amazing, because it's simple. This woman's daughter, okay, now just so you know, this is not a distributor. This is a teenage daughter to a distributor in a network marketing company, and it got 34,000 views in like 24 to 48 hours. Actually, you can see here, this was just yesterday. It got 62,000 likes.
That's crazy. 8,900 shares.
8,900 shares.
So it went viral.
And it was just, within 24 hours, literally 100 customers, 2,300 points in volume from doing this before and after of a lip plumping product. You can also see here transformational videos. I'm telling you guys, TikTok is hot. You can share the video on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter. You can create these videos over on TikTok. And look, if you want a TikTok tutorial, Nadya has one that she created that's absolutely phenomenal and literally gets views and comments every day.
And we'll link to it once we're done with the broadcast.
Yes. So Tiffany got like 60 DMs within 24 hours. Amanda got 20 customers from doing this. And it's just such a smart way to promote on a platform that is the only platform right now that we know of where someone with no following can go viral.
Yeah. So let me give you a couple of other examples just to get your creative juices flowing. And I want to inspire you to really play with this modality, because you can take your before and after, or any kind of like transformational, usually would be like a text post, right? But you can now do it in a really short video. So I played with this concept where I just showed my regime.
There it is.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, regime. And then you can showcase your lifestyle, right? Where you're snapping and you're like moving from place to place. You can also do more of this inspirational. And you guys, my favorite part of TikTok at the moment, our kids are on it. Our kids are not necessarily on Facebook or Periscope. They don't even know what that means, right? Instagram, no. But on TikTok, you could totally have so much fun as a family.
And I just want to point out too that 97% of the marketers out there are not even using TikTok yet. And it's such a fun, positive platform right now, right?
If you love this training, can you let us know in the comments below what was your biggest takeaway that you're going to go put into work right now? Ideas are plenty, but implementation is key. So I'm going to challenge you to, think through what was the best idea that really hit you, that you go, wow, I'm going to go put myself into action right now, because you only implement when you're in momentum.